come to the museum with a graduate of museum studies. I actually graduated around 6 years ago, but I still enjoy going to museums on my spare time, especially since I don't volunteer at this museum anymore. It's still fun to see what happens there. I'm currently heading here as there's a storm warning. If you can't tell, I can't either because it's like perfect out here, but I mean it just started snowing, but that's what we're dealing with here. The Royal BC Museum is loved by many in British Columbia, but some people have some problems with the way they portrayed their exhibits over the years, and I haven't seen it since they redid some of their exhibits. So right before you go in, they have a display set up dedicated to Terry Fox. He is probably the most famous Canadian ever, and actually this year he was on our $5 bill, so it was really interesting to see how they portrayed him and how they restored the Ford car that followed him around. I was really interested to see that because I really like the history of Terry Fox. So moving forward, you actually have to go up 2 floors before you get to the main exhibit, which was actually really interesting as well. They did an exhibit on modernism in Canada. I was actually right next to 2 people who were debating whether this was a skidoo or a snowmobile. This was really cool to see. The thing that stuck out to me the most was the colors in this exhibit. I really feel like there was a lot of thought put into that. It's been a long time since I've been to the Royal BC Museum, so now I'm just looking at the modern exhibit. Haven't seen this before either, but need to go through this to see the exhibit I came here for. It's after this main exhibit that you get to the highly coveted Old Town, which is the part that most Victorians have very much in their hearts and that they really love. A lot of people like to see the same things when they go to this old town. I haven't been in a couple of years. It was really nice to see this again, and I showed you the acknowledgement as well, which I actually don't remember seeing. I say that because it's clear there's been some updates and some conversations in these displays to sort of portray the different lands and the different perspectives that might be happening on this land. I haven't been here in years, but this is still the most busy part of the exhibit. I stayed around this part for a bit, but again, I've seen some of this parts before, so I was really eager to get to the photography exhibit, which you see now. This was really interesting. I was really happy to see a Japanese-Canadian perspective being shown in the Royal BC Museum. I've seen the exhibit in Vancouver, and I have an interest in this just from my Canadian background. From my literature background as well. I think they portrayed this really well. One thing that stood out to me is they said part of it was real and part of it was fabricated, so they were really trying to get a good experience here. And then I always love to see acknowledgement of curators. It just gives it a really personal feel.